My name's Rod Keher. I am the founder and part owner of Desert Snow. We are a event services company based in Dubai, servicing the Middle East. Um, we provide anything to do with snow and winter for events, for film and TV, for private parties, for whatever is required. Really, actually, take out private parties. I don't want private parties in there.
No worries.
For large
No worries.
scale events, yeah, major corporate events, hotels, things like that. In the last couple of years, we're sort of, I suppose, evolving into more of an experiences company. So providing large scale attractions, permanent and temporary, for government bodies and theme parks and things like that. So yeah, we've been running for 10 years. And I've recently transitioned from the operations director, I suppose. As a founder, we built the company from scratch. So you're wearing lots of different hats. And in the past couple of years, in the past 6 months, really, we're transitioning over to take a more founder, more mentor role, and broad in management, and filling out the spaces in the company that need, so we can have specialist people in the areas to help the company thrive. I think he saw something that we didn't at the time. So we were engaged initially just from an initial conversation. We sat down and just talked like we are now about what we do as a company. And even from that initial meeting, my business partner and I walked out of there absolutely, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, like buzzing. Just we'd never been asked questions like that. We'd never been forced to think about our business in the way that we had by being asked those questions. And it really just like was a real sort of mind expanding experience. And I think from that point, we were both completely sold on the idea of coaching and what it actually is. But going through the process with Damien and with Thrive has completely changed my opinion of that. I now understand that our company wouldn't be where it was without the values we have. And through the process of identifying them with Damien and really getting to understand them intimately and agreeing on them, right? Just even in principle, and then learning to use them to our advantage, to weaponize them in a way so that they benefit not just us, but the company and the people that work for us, things like that. It's just been transformational, really. I think working with Damien and working with Thrive, the first word that comes to mind is curiosity. I think there's a real sense of curiosity about who you are, what you're doing, and where you are. I think for me, the biggest takeaway I have, and a learning actually I've taken from how Damien is in his sessions, is he really meets you where you are right then. Doesn't matter what you've worked out before, even if there was an intention for the lesson for today, he's very intuitive and he picks up if there's something, and then he quite persistent that he won't let you get away from it as well. It might be something personal, or it might be something that you maybe didn't think you wanted to bring to the session, but it's affecting it. And so, in the sessions, we name it and we address it, and it ends up becoming the fuel for the fire for the session, right? So it ends up actually informing most of what you do. And I would say another word that springs to mind is adaptive. I think that the way that a session with Damien can shift and move and sort of dance around what's happening, what comes up, but always underpinned with intention. I never walk out thinking, oh, well, we didn't really get anything achieved, or there wasn't any closure, right? It really still feels like there's an arc, and that where you started and where you finished, there's a real intention behind it. But the journey there is so dynamic. And so, yeah, reactive. It's great. The biggest cultural norm is communication, open, honest, frank communication, probably brave communication, because sometimes it's quite hard to have difficult conversations, bring up problems you're having at work. The one biggest takeaway is being honest with yourself. Know thyself.